Now we turn to the latest on yesterday's deadly blast in Poland near the Ukrainian border. 2 people were killed, and it appears it was a Ukrainian air defense missile, most likely, that caused the explosion. That is a huge relief to NATO.
We agreed that we need to stay vigilant, calm, and closely coordinated. NATO stands united, and we will always do what is necessary to protect and defend all allies.
Video from Republika TV in Poland showed the immediate aftermath. The site is a few kilometers from Ukraine's border, and it's the focus of an intensive investigation. Ukraine is requesting immediate access to the site, but Poland says both it and the U.S. would have to agree for that to happen. CBC's senior correspondent Briar Stewart is monitoring the Russian response. She's standing by for us in London. Hey, Briar, so I understand you have new information on Russia's response. Bring us up to speed.
Well, Russia's foreign ministry has now called the Polish ambassador to Moscow, and this follows comments that officials have made throughout the day, calling, quote, NATO's reaction absolutely hysterical. And what it is Russia is only too happy to seize on what NATO and the U.S. are saying about how this strike in Poland appears to have been caused by a air defense missile from Ukraine's system. And what Russia is really kind of focusing in on is just the initial reaction that came out as some of the rumors swirled yesterday evening. Of course, Russia isn't talking about what was going on at the time when you had Russia launch a barrage of missiles all across Ukraine. Russia's not talking about that, and only really what happened or appears to have happened here in Poland. Now, the spokesperson for the Kremlin, Dmitry Peskov, spoke to reporters a little earlier today. I'm going to read you some of what he said. He said, once again, such a frenzied reaction shows that one should never rush into assessments, statements that can escalate the situation, especially at such crucial moments. He then went on to say, in this case, it makes sense to pay attention to the restrained and much more balanced reaction of the U.S. side and the American president. So the latter part of that is really quite interesting, because when you look at how Russia has described the U.S., certainly as of late, you see a lot of criticism, if not open hostility. And so to have them really kind of praise the U.S. for its reaction really kind of strikes a different tone. But as I mentioned, really what Russia is trying to do is say that, look, all the blame that people were, laying towards us for saying it was our missile, that we were targeting Poland, well, Russian officials are saying this is just proof of the West being Russophobic, and that Russia is being blamed for many things that the country says it's not doing.
We know that it continues to be an incredibly delicate situation, and earlier, Poland's president was careful to describe the missile as Russian-made. So can you tell us more about these missiles?
Well, Russian-made actually means missile systems that were originated in the Soviet Union. So this particular missile, the S-300, it was developed, first deployed in 1979. So you have a number of former Soviet bloc countries that are equipped with these systems. And Ukraine has really relied on these air defense systems to really try to protect its cities and its infrastructure throughout the nearly 9-month on war. But of course, what's interesting is that throughout all of this, and certainly over the last 2 months, Ukraine has pleaded for NATO and in particular the U.S. to supply it with more advanced missile systems, systems that have a longer range, are more accurate. And so as this continues and the investigation into just what happened with this missile system develops, I mean, it could actually kind of strengthen Ukraine's plea for more modern and, I guess, more accurate weapon systems.
Thanks for joining us on this, Briar. That is the CBC's Briar Stewart in London.